Hey guys, Sean Klinger with Ricky Orks, VitalMX Test Rider, and we are at Fox Raceway riding the 2020 Yamaha YZ450F. Overall, lots of things to talk about. Starting with the chassis of the bike, they changed the frame. The frame architecture is about the same, but they put less material in the upper frame spars to give a little more flex there, and then increased material on the lower frame spars or the cradle area to actually make a little stiffer there. They changed the suspension, so it's still the KYB SSS suspension that pretty much everyone likes. Everyone agrees is really good suspension, but they did make some internal changes. The piston's a little different, and in the shock, some of the holes are a little smaller for the oil to pass through. So both of those are actually to make the front and rear of the bike a little stiffer. And then the engine, major changes to the head. Overall, all of it was to kind of shrink the top of the head. They made it physically smaller, they made it physically lighter. The cams and the valve train is all lightened and shortened, and the springs are lighter to give it a freer revving, kind of looser feel. And all of that is aimed at kind of giving more control, but also not lose any power. So something that was interesting that Travis Preston, one of the guys that worked on this bike, he was talking about in the 10 years he's worked there, one of the first times that they increased power across the board. That was from the top end, came from different valves and kind of a straighter intake track and changing the exhaust a bit, and that helped the top end. But then the bottom end was from a different combustion chamber shape, different piston, lowering the spark plug actually a little lower into the combustion chamber, get a cleaner burn, more efficient. So it's pretty impressive to see all the changes they did.
Mid-range was great, top end was great, but like you were saying, for all the changes, it wasn't like night and day difference. I felt like the 18 to the 19, which was minimal changes, felt more drastically different than the 19 to 20 being so many changes.
I mean, riding the 19 first today and then the 20, I did really enjoy the controllability, the ease of use, kind of the feel of the initial power it's really hard to explain that it's still torquey, it's still powerful down low, but it's like there's more progression. Yeah, and that's what they were saying too with the maps that they changed when they were doing the baseline map. They actually added a lot of different areas in the bottom end that they can change the ignition and the timing and all that stuff. It's such a torquey engine, it's such a snappy, exciting bottom end and mid-range that, I mean, you can be really lazy, ride it third gear the whole track and have plenty of power.
I rode the 19 first, and the 19 was one of my favorite 450s last year. And the 20, you know, it was a firmer race setting. The first couple laps, I felt like the bike wasn't maybe settling into stroke. I don't want to say that they sacrificed any comfort, but it definitely felt more of like an intermediate pro level, firmer race setting. At 70%, the bike felt a little stiff. As I pushed it and started maybe over jumping some of the jumps and carrying a little bit more momentum through the braking bumps and chop, it felt right at home.
I felt like I was just too high in the stroke. Like I said, I wanted to be a little bit further in to the stroke to initiate the turn, to help me start to turn the bike. And out back, I actually did go stiffer on the high speed just to get a little more hold up back there.
It kind of mimicked the engine, you know. It was smooth, but you know, plenty of power when you needed it, and that was kind of how the suspension was.
You know, it was actually some of the engine changes, by lowering the centrifugal mass, the rotating mass in the head. Travis Preston was talking about how much that changed the turning characteristic just to kind of overcome that momentum, but it's still really easy to turn for me.
Also, on the 20, we were running the bar mount in the farther position, which I had never run that till today. And I think that was what I was feeling, is the bike was a little bit quicker steering and a little bit more weight on the front of the bike versus the 19. And that made the bike feel like I was sitting maybe not in the cradle of the seat, but more towards the front of the seat, which the bike, you know, didn't lose stability in the high speed or the rough or the chop, but it did gain a little bit of quicker turning.
Overall, I've been a huge fan of Yamaha chassis as far as stability goes.
I felt the same. I felt that the bike is very stable and very easy to ride.
We really enjoyed riding the Yamaha today. Still comfortable, there's still comfort, there's still controllability, and I would just say that it's moving more into the race ready, you know, box stock, ready to go for the faster guys. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, like I said, please check out the full article on our website, vitalmx.com. And if you're on Vital MX, check out our YouTube channel, hit subscribe if you like the video, and thanks for watching.